Hey guys, how's it going? Andrew here, Nuff Said Cards. It is Sunday, July 8th, 2018. Hope everybody had a great July 4th and a good weekend. Just got back from my daughter's lacrosse tournament. We were out of town all weekend. Just wanted to make a video tonight. I've got a bunch of things that I want to talk about, but hopefully this will be less than 25 minutes, which was my last video, which was way too long. So just going to get right into it. And the first thing I want to talk about tonight, you are actually looking at right now, and it is the Piedmont sign that appears as the backdrop for almost all of my videos. Hadn't really occurred to me that I'd never talked about this sign or where I got it or what it originally came from, but Eric from his channel is called ThoseBackPages left a comment on my last video asking about the sign, so I figured I'd just talk about it real quick. And this is a porcelain sign. You can see there's some chipping on the top, kind of all around the perimeter of it. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. I got this at a flea market. I saw this a number of years ago, and I paid about 50 bucks for it. I didn't really know what it had come from, but just thought it was kind of neat. Piedmont obviously was the most popular brand of cigarettes that was produced by the American Tobacco Company. Also the most popular advertising back on T206 cards. More than 50% of all T206 cards have the Piedmont back. And also I live in Virginia, so I just thought it was kind of cool. So the Virginia cigarette there on the bottom. But I didn't really know what this had come from, so when I got home I did a little bit of research and discovered that originally it had been the back of a wooden folding chair. And obviously at some point the one that I have was removed from the wood frame there. You can see on the side on the wood there it also says Piedmont Cigarettes. But anyhow, I thought it was pretty cool and worth 50 bucks, and so happy to have that. Something else that I keep in my showcase that I haven't shown you guys before. I was actually thinking about getting this framed. Just thought I'd show you this real quick. This is the back of a Wheaties box from 1939. You can see there it says 100 Years of Baseball, 1839 to 1939, and it has the famous poem Casey at the Bat. Then a little ad on the bottom there. I won't claim to know a lot about poetry, but any baseball fan should definitely have read Casey at the Bat. Pretty awesome poem. So just thought I'd show you that real quick, share that. Next up, just want to talk about some upcoming baseball card events that I'm excited about. Next weekend, the CSA show in Chantilly, Virginia, which is close to my house. It's for those of you that have been to it, it's a pretty large show. It's about 300 tables. One of the bigger mid-Atlantic shows. They have a lot of autographed guests and pretty good mix of vintage and pre-war and modern cards, and some good dealers show up. Usually a pretty good crowd there. So if anyone's planning on going to that, reach out to me and would love to say hello. And then also, I'm really excited that I'm going to be going to the National this year. Hopefully a lot of you are going also. It's actually only the second National that I ever will have ever gone to. I've been going to shows for the majority of my life, and I'm 42 years old, but this will only be my second National, and really excited about it. It's August 1st to August 5th in Cleveland. I will be there for all 5 days. You know, hopefully some of you will be there also and maybe meet up and say hello. But wanted to just mention a few tips, a few things that I have learned from going to shows for many years. And there's a lot of videos out there that focus on, you know, tips for the National. As a matter of fact, Baseball Collector Mike made a great video last week. I had already been thinking about what I was going to talk about, my tips, but Mike beat me to the punch. So I'm not going to rehash what he said. If you have not seen his video, definitely go check it out. But just a few things that I was thinking about. First, if you were planning on dropping stuff off at PSA or SGC, particularly PSA, do it early. They are grading and slabbing cards on site, but if you want to ensure that you're going to get your stuff back before the end of the show, go there early. It's going to be really busy at PSA for sure. You may want to consider even preparing your submission form ahead of time so you know it's ready to go and you can just drop it off. But definitely get that out of the way, and it'll be less stuff to have to carry around anyway for the show. So second of all, and I think Mike may have talked about this, but really briefly I'm going to mention it because it's very important. Wear the most comfortable shoes that you have. If you have not gone to a larger show, multiple day show, the concrete floors really kill your feet after a while, and you'll be glad if you have comfortable shoes, believe me. Also, give some thought about what you're going to carry around with you. I carry a backpack with as little stuff as possible. There are some items that I'm going to mention that I bring, but you don't want to carry around a lot of stuff. You're not going to want to be lugging stuff around. But some stuff that you will want to bring are supplies, some card savers, some penny sleeves. I'm bringing some perfect fit sleeves, like I have on this SGC slab here. So that when I get stuff back, I'm going to drop some stuff off at SGC and also maybe PSA. And at the end of this video, I'll show you what I'm planning on dropping off. But that way, when you get the slabs back, you can immediately put a sleeve on them and reduce the chance that the slab's going to get scuffed up. Also, I bring a little box. This is just an empty card saver box. Fits pretty well, and as I buy cards, I just put them in this box so they're not just kind of loose moving around in my backpack. Another thing that I bring this to every show, and I actually keep this pretty well updated. This is a list, not every card I own, but I think every pre-war card I own. This is just a spreadsheet I made, and I have it in order of year, earliest first. So you can see there the year 1888 on the first card there, the name of the set, the name of the player, then if it's graded, who it's graded by, what the grade is, then I have the serial number, and then when I bought it, and then on the far right there, I have it blacked out, but that's how much I paid for the card. This way, reduce or eliminate the possibility of buying a card that I already have. I've done that a couple times before I started keeping that spreadsheet. And then another thing that I do is I've identified some cards that I'm considering upgrading. So I want to upgrade, for instance, this T205 Bill Kerrigan card. So what I do is I just take a picture of the card with my cell phone. So if I find another one and can't remember exactly what the one I have looks like, I can just refer back to the picture and decide if it's worth upgrading, if it's a significant improvement, and that way I'll have the picture of the card I already have as a reference. Another thing that's very important, can't stress this one enough, bring a light. I use this little magnifier that has a light on the bottom. Probably everyone has a light on their cell phone. Oftentimes it shows the lighting is not great, it's kind of dim, and I've made the mistake before. You get back home, look at a card, and realize that there was some defect on the card, a small crease, something that you didn't see because the lighting wasn't great. Especially if you're a higher end, more expensive card, take the time, check it out really well with a light. I also use this magnifier. I got this for 15 bucks on Amazon, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm definitely going to bring that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is a website, a subscription based website that I am a member of. It's called Vintage Card Prices, and it's basically a service that tells you how much cards have sold for, graded cards. And I think I pay for a full membership about 17 bucks a month, which is worth it for me, depending on what kind of collection you have, what types of cards you're buying. It probably isn't necessary for a lot of people, especially if you're buying more modern stuff. You can just kind of refer to eBay and see what the most recent prices are. But for certain things, especially for older cards, it definitely is a good reference, in my opinion anyway. So as far as for the National, if 17 bucks a month for a full membership isn't worth it to you, you can get a one-day membership for $3.99, and I'm going to show you kind of what you can do with this. I definitely think it's worth it for $3.99 to get it, at least for while you're at the National. And this is what the main page looks like when you just go on vintagecardprices.com. This is what you'll see. Up in the corner there, you can see in green this little search bar. If you click on the search bar, you'll see a little drop-down box: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, boxing, and non-sports cards. So, for instance, you click on baseball, this is what's going to come up. And you can search. There are a number of different ways you can search to find a card. Say you want to look up Mickey Mantle cards. You'll see this, which is a list of basically every card that they have identified for Mickey Mantle. And this is just the first page of many cards for Mickey Mantle. If you want to look for his 1952 Topps, you'll click on that, and this is what you'll see. Some information about the card, a picture of the card, and then on the bottom there, you'll see the PSA ones are on top, but for every grade, authentic through 10, you'll see whether the prices have gone up, down, and what the range of prices are. The price in the middle is kind of the average price. So say you're looking at a PSA 3. Click on that. First you'll see a little graph, kind of what the pricing has done. And then you'll see a list of all the recent sales of PSA 3 52 Topps mantles and the price. And there's a lot of them, as you can see. They get their information from eBay and from different auction houses. You can click, for instance, on the first one there. You can actually see the card. This sold for $24,000 on May 8th on eBay. And you can see the front of the card, the back of the card. And this is just a great reference. Really good tool for kind of determining the proper pricing of a card. And some dealers may not respond well to it, but you can reference it if you're trying to negotiate the price of a card. For $3.99 for a day, it's just to me it would be worth it. So you may want to just give that some thought. Just two more things to mention. One, I have already looked at the list of dealers that are going to be there, and have picked out a couple dealers that I know that I've bought stuff from in the past, that I know have stuff that kind of fits in with what I'm looking for. And when I get to the show, I'm going to go straight to those couple dealers first, so I can see all their stuff, hopefully before they unload anything that I might want, and check them out first, and then start making my way through the rest of the tables. That's really it. I bring a notepad and I just jot down as I'm going around things that I like, things that I may want to come back and give a second look. Sometimes I'll ask a dealer if I can take a photo of the card, and then at night at the hotel room just kind of look back and see what it is that I saw, and try to determine whether or not it's something that I want to go look at again the next day. So that's pretty much it. And I'm just going to show you real quick what I want to get graded at the show. This T201 Eddie Saccott card. I'm going to get this one graded by SGC. T200 Fatima Red Sox team card. This will probably grade a 1.5 or a 2. May bring this one to PSA, going with a friend of mine, and if he drops some stuff off of PSA, I might throw this in with his stuff. But this is a pretty nice Bob Cousy rookie, and I hope that this comes back a 4.5. I'd be really happy with a 4.5, maybe a 4. But I'm going to drop that one off. And then 2 postcards. I'm going to get this Tris Speaker postcard graded by SGC. I expect that this will probably be a 1.5. I'd be happy with a 2. So I'm going to get that one graded, and then also this 1908 Cy Young postcard, Cy Delivering the Goods. Going to get this one slabbed also by SGC. This one also will probably be a 1.5 or a 2. So that's it. If you are planning on going to the National, hopefully, or the Chantilly show, hope I can possibly meet up with you and say hello. And hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. I think they just announced the All-Star teams, American National League All-Star teams, so I'm going to go check that out. And talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.